We took up like $85,000.
For that boat.
That pays for the girls' tickets to fly in. That pays for $1,000 for them to...
Fred Smoot's rise in the NFL was quickly overshadowed by several scandals that defined his career. In 2005, the infamous Love Boat scandal, a wild party that shocked the public and marked the start of his downfall. Then came his domestic violence and civil misdemeanor charges that kept him in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe. Fred Smoot found himself at the center of the 2005 Minnesota Vikings boat cruise scandal, which involved several of his teammates. The incident took place when some Vikings players rented a boat on Lake Minnetonka and reportedly hired prostitutes for what was described as a sex party. The scandal caused a huge media frenzy, with the public and the NFL paying close attention to what would happen next. Formal charges related to the incident were filed on December 15th, and Smoot was accused of organizing the entire event, a claim he strongly denied. By May 2, 2006, Smoot pleaded guilty to 2 charges: disorderly conduct and being a public nuisance on a watercraft. As part of his punishment, he was ordered to pay a $1,007 fine and complete 48 hours of community service. In addition to this, Vikings owner Ziggy Wilf announced that Smoot would be involved in several service events during the season to make up for his role in the scandal. While the NFL didn't suspend Smoot, NFL spokesman Greg Aiello indicated that fines were likely to be imposed. Sure enough, on September 9, 2006, Smoot, along with his teammate Bryant McKinney, was fined by the NFL. The fine was equivalent to 1 game's salary, which for Smoot amounted to a hefty $82,352. Although he managed to avoid suspension, the scandal left a permanent mark on his reputation, and Smoot struggled to shake off the negative attention that followed. But this wasn't enough trouble.
I would stop and talk to him. I told him I don't really feel comfortable talking to you because you're not very nice. You haven't been nice. Everything you say, it's gonna make me cry.
On November 25, 2014, Smoot found himself in trouble again, this time with the law. He was arrested by the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office after his former girlfriend, Valerie Jackson, accused him of domestic abuse. The news made headlines, and Smoot's reputation took another hit. However, after a couple of months of legal proceedings, Smoot was officially cleared of all charges on January 6, 2015, allowing him to move on from the situation without any legal consequences. Years later, in August 2023, Smoot had another run-in with the law. This time, it was a civil misdemeanor charge related to failure to comply with a support obligation. On August 10, 2023, Smoot surrendered himself to the Loudoun County Sheriff's Department after learning about the arrest warrant. He explained that he was initially unaware of the warrant because the notices had been sent to an old address where he no longer lived. After cooperating with the authorities, Smoot was released from custody the very next day. Speaking of his career, which was a brief one due to his troubles, Smoot began his college journey at Hines Community College, where he attended from 1997 to 1998 before transferring to Mississippi State University. It was at Mississippi State where Smoot truly made a name for himself on the football field. Playing for the Bulldogs from 1999 to 2000, Smoot quickly became one of the team's standout players. He earned a starting position during his junior and senior years, showing his talent as a dominant cornerback. Smoot's performance didn't go unnoticed. In both his junior and senior years, he was named a first-team All-Southeastern Conference selection, solidifying his place as one of the top defensive players in the conference. His senior year was particularly impressive, as he not only earned consensus first-team All-American honors, but also became a finalist for the prestigious Connerly Trophy in 2000, awarded to the best college football player in the state of Mississippi. Smoot's college success set the stage for his entry into the NFL, where he was already seen as a player with big potential. Smoot entered the NFL with a lot of attention, being selected by the Washington Redskins as the 14th pick in the second round of the 2001 NFL Draft, 45th overall. Coming out of Mississippi State, many scouts and analysts believed Smoot had the talent to be picked in the first round, but there were concerns about his behavior off the field. These concerns made several teams hesitant, causing him to fall to the second round. Despite this, Smoot was confident in his abilities and wasted no time declaring himself the steal of the draft. During his 4 years with the Redskins, Smoot proved his worth. He became known for his aggressive play and collected 16 interceptions over that time. On the field, he formed a strong partnership with veteran cornerback Champ Bailey, creating a formidable defensive duo. Smoot's performance during those years showed that despite the doubts surrounding him, he was capable of playing at a high level and living up to the expectations that came with his talent. After a standout season as part of the Washington Redskins' strong defense in 2004, Smoot decided to test the free agency market. He ended up signing with the Minnesota Vikings, hoping to continue his success in a new environment. However, things didn't go as planned for Smoot in Minnesota. His performance didn't match the level he had shown in Washington, and he struggled to find the same rhythm with the Vikings. In the 2006 offseason, reports surfaced that Smoot had put on some weight. While he had been listed at 178 pounds during the 2005 season, by May 2006, his weight had climbed to around 200 pounds. Despite bulking up, Smoot faced tough competition for the starting cornerback position. The Vikings had drafted Cedric Griffin in the second round, and Roniel Whitaker, who had made a name for himself in NFL Europa, was also vying for the spot. Things got even more complicated for Smoot during the regular season. In the third game against the Chicago Bears, he didn't play the opening drive, which was reportedly due to discipline issues. Coach Brad Childress was vague about the situation, simply stating that it was a matter between him and Smoot. Later in the season, things took a more serious turn. By the 11th game, Smoot was benched in favor of Cedric Griffin. Coach Childress explained that the decision was based on performance, praising Griffin for doing an excellent job on the field. For Smoot, it was a clear sign that his time in Minnesota wasn't going as smoothly as he had hoped. Not only his crimes, but his injuries too, became the reason for his career's brutal end. In December 2006, Smoot's career took another unfortunate turn when he was involved in a single-vehicle crash while spending time in Mississippi. The accident left Smoot with a broken jaw in 5 different places, a serious injury that forced him to sit out the remainder of the season. It was a tough blow, both physically and professionally, as it kept him off the field just when he needed to prove himself again. Not long after, on March 1, 2007, the Minnesota Vikings decided to part ways with Smoot and released him from the team. However, his time without a team didn't last long. Just 2 days later, on March 3, 2007, Smoot found his way back to where his NFL career began with the Washington Redskins. They signed him to a 5-year contract worth $25 million, hoping he could bring back some of the spark he had shown earlier in his career. But Smoot's second stint with the Redskins didn't last the full 5 years. On March 4, 2010, after 3 seasons, the team decided to release him, marking the end of his time with Washington. Smoot's story is a clear example of how fame comes with its own challenges and how crucial it is to make wise decisions in the early years. His off-field controversies from the start of his career stuck with him, overshadowing his talent and hurting his reputation. No matter how skilled he was on the field, the negative impact of his behavior followed him throughout his career. That is it for this one, but if you happen to like NFL legends, make sure to check out our latest videos on our channel NFL Icons. I'm sure you will love it.